Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap homework session and market analysis and trade plan setup for Thursday, December the 5th, 2013. For those that are visiting from Twitter or watching on YouTube, this is Quantum Leap. We are a self-organized learning environment. We have a Skype chat room that we've been running for 4 years now. It's a private room. If you're interested in checking it out, you can send me a contact request at Doug_McKay. I'll be the one from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. I am the founder and head moderator for Quantum Leap. Each morning we come together and go through a routine of looking at the macro to micro numbers, the macro to the micro trend, and then some more in-depth chart analysis, and put our levels together, where we're going to trade, where our targets are, what the probable rotations are, and we do this every morning at 8:45 Eastern Time. If you want to contact me directly, you can give me a email to my email account at dm@m4connects.com, or give me a call directly on my office line. Please call me after hours. Before we get going, of course, we got to get this, lovely legals out of the way. This information is for the purpose of educating members who want to expand their knowledge of the business of trading. It's not for trading or investment advice. You and only you are responsible for the trades or investment decisions you make. Trading futures or any instrument involves a risk of loss. Please consider carefully whether futures or options are appropriate to your financial situation. Only risk capital should be used when trading futures or options. Investors could lose more than their initial investment. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please do your own due diligence. So the first thing that we like to do is just go through the numbers. We've been keeping this homework sheet for a few years now, all the key levels that we like to watch, and I always like to look at the macro to micro. So, the big picture is still 1812.50 to the high side. We opened the month at 1806.25. We're trading below that. Our month low is 1777.75. We put that in yesterday. Two or three ticks past our main target, which was at 1778.25 yesterday. Nothing really changes in the quarterly. Globex open yesterday, 1792, had a high of 1795.75 and a low of 1785, and then we opened the RTH at 1785.25. Key here is this 92. We opened at 92 and we closed the RTH at 92 as well. So we basically had a doji day, but you can see that we're now starting to see some weakness coming in. Will it continue, or will the buyers, now that they went down to that 1788.50 area and below, did we pick up enough buyers with conviction to take another run for the 1800s? In the 1800s, I will be starting a swing short. I'm going to start selling rallies and building my swing short again with the move back up into 1800s. I've been waiting, since I closed out that last swing short, but I will start working on it as we move back up into the 1800s. Of course, we had a huge initial balance yesterday at 15 points. We're thinking possibly that 3% normal day was going to come into play, where we didn't break the high or the low of the IB, but because we deal in statistical probabilities, the bigger probability was to break one side or the other. There was only 3%, even with the fact that it was a 15-point IB, and of course we ended up breaking the low side and pushing down to our main target down there. It was a beautiful thing. Nothing else that I really see. An interesting thing yesterday is we left value above. VPOC for yesterday was 1797.75, and we closed at 1792. And then overnight, we found balance around 92. Our overnight VPOC was a 1792 close. Range was large, 21 3/4 that we put in the RTH, which was the full session range as well. Expanded our 20-day ATRs out, but not much. Again, as per lately, we've been seeing late IB breaks. You can see lately, we have been breaking the IB outside of the pocket. Usually you get that first 15 minutes between 9:30 and 9:45 where you're getting the break. That has been the highest probable break of the IB, high or low, but lately we're outside of the pocket and breaking it much later. Volume was a little bit heavier than normal, but that's, I think, due to the big sell-off and then the covering. Going over to the daily report, this daily report is put together based on multiple methodologies and things that we're looking at, everything from Pearson pivots, key numbers, volume profile, a couple proprietary studies that we do, Elliott Wave, Fibonacci, and what happens is we put out this QLTP to our traders, which is basically a ladder above and below the close from the prior day with all the different levels based on the different methodologies, not to trade off of, but to give you a guide of where other traders may activate their trades, and gives you a little bit of a work area and your pivots, etc. And we put that out every day into the room. Of course, we had Canadian building permits and unemployment claims this morning. We also had the ECB press announcement. Got a little bit of a move down, seeing a little bit more weakness coming into this market. We do have Canadian PMI coming up at 9, factory orders at 9, and then we've got natural gas at 9:30. Looking at the ATR targets above and below for the full session currently, with full session high 1794.25 overnight and low of 1788.25 overnight. I don't think we've gone down and broken that yet. Our full session ATR targets are 1803.08 and 1779.43. Well, the 1803.08 brings us right up to that naked VPOC that we still have above us at 1804, and then back down here at 1779.43. That's right, back towards that CHVN and our main target yesterday at 1778.25. Let's go over and take a look at the overall macro to micro trends. I always want to make sure I understand where we are within the context of the market. Monthly, very strong, good slope and separation. Haven't closed below the 9 all year. Haven't closed below the 20 for the last 2 years. So trend is still very strong on the monthly. On the weekly, same thing. We've got good slope and separation. I use the 9 EMA and 20 SMA. We're paralleling price pretty nicely. We did create this little bit of a tech gap, coming down a bit today. Probably get this closed out by a combination of time and price today, and then whether or not we break below the 9 EMA and see some more weakness, or whether or not we bounce off of it and go up and test those 1800s again. But overall, the trend is very strong on the weekly. On the daily, we've got a little bit of a different picture. It looks like we're starting to roll over. We tried to break below the 20 SMA. We didn't. We popped back up and closed above but below the 9. And currently we're trading in what I call a MA squeeze, where we're trading in between the 9 and the 20, and the two are coming together. And this is generally a decision point for a bigger move. Don't know which direction the move is, but generally it is a possibility of another move out of this consolidation area. We do have a possible head and shoulders setting up on the weekly, but still a lot, on the daily, but still a lot of development to go. Taking a look at the geometric charts, there's 3 forks on this chart. There's the long-term upward sloping fork that we've been following for probably half a year now. The other upward sloping fork is more of a mid-term that we put in about 4 or 5 weeks ago, and then there's this modified fork that I added beginning of last week. You can see that we're below the upper line of the longer-term fork again. We broke outside a couple times, got back in, broke out again. We're now back in. A test of the upper line of the longer-term fork will bring us up to that 1799.50 area. That's our range high from yesterday. So I'll be watching for a move to test the upper line from below. We broke below the center line of the shorter-term fork, and we're now coming up, and we tested that from below, and we've rejected. If we come down and test the lower line of the shorter-term fork, that'll bring us down to that 1770 area. My number below there is 1767, 1768 area, so I'll be watching for that possibility. We still have this energy point that I was talking about yesterday. In fact, yesterday when we started to break down, I was thinking, okay, this energy point can come into play because it will put us within the ATR needed. This is projecting out for tomorrow, the 6th, but then we pop back up. I'm still not convinced that we're going to hit this by tomorrow. I think we could see some weakness today. If we do get down to that 1768, then it comes into play. But right now, I'm thinking that we're probably going to try to make a push up again today. The shorter-term trends, just want to go and take a look at where we are in the intraday trends. Again, Howard, I don't know why this keeps happening on this one particular chart. You can see that the 4-hour is still in a downward trend. We're struggling to get back above the 9 EMA. We do have slope and separation to the downside. We are currently trading below the 9 EMA. We do have a naked cross on the 4-hour up there at 1805.50. We've got another one on the 5-minute at 1785. So there is some confluence and unauctioned territory above us. Going to the 30-minute, really doesn't tell us anything. We've just been consolidating sideways and no slope or separation, so doesn't give us any information going into the open today for the RTH session. Same thing with the 5-minute, just going sideways. Do have a bit of a naked cross here at 1792.25. Going to mark that in there. That we just put in, but we are trading below the 9 and the 20, but we are really just going sideways. So let's take a look at where we are in the big picture. So just to give you we consolidated down in here around the 1758 for a good period of time. Then we tried to break higher. We held value, and the last most accepted price was that 1767.75. That's my main target below. We broke out. We found balance around 1788.75. Launched from there. Went and made a new high. Tried to hold value up at 1804.50. Couldn't hold value. Came down to the 1788.75. Tried to launch again. Didn't have enough buyers. Had to come back down again. Pushed through down to the 1778.25, which is just right at the top of that prior range. So they were trying to bring us back down into range. Buyers stepped in nice and strong down there, moved us back up, and we closed at 92. The last 2 days we're trying to hold value. That value is trying to be held at 91.50. We're currently trading 1789.50. So a lot of this is going to be very similar to yesterday. Yesterday, we said our main hypothesis was going to be that we were going to get stuck in the wicks, either the lower wick or the upper wick, and we trade between that 91.50 and 82.50, and if we broke 82.50 and moved down to test that 1778.25 with a possible push through to 1774.50. And then if we broke that 1774.50, I felt we'd get a strong move down to that 1768.75. They got down to the 1777.50 and then popped back up. But we played both sides of the hypothesis, because the second side of the hypothesis was we move up, we push down and possibly hold the prior day range, or find buyers between the overnight low and the 82.50, and then move up through and then chop around inside of the wicks between 94 and 1800, and basically we did both sides of my hypothesis, and then played out the main target below by going down and breaking through that 82.25 and hitting that 78.25. We're currently trading inside of this distribution zone around 92.25 and 82.25. I don't think that much is going to be different. We still have wicks above us, unauctioned territory, so there's still a possibility of getting stuck in the wicks above, or coming down here and getting stuck in the wick below. So I'll be watching this 86 area here. If we break below 86, I'll be looking to get short with a move down to 82, and then the possibility of chopping around here between 78.25 and 1786.25, and possibly if we push down to that other side of balance around 78.25 at 74.50, and then if we break there, the big number is 67.75. I don't think that we're necessarily going to have to go down to pick up those buyers. I think they found some pretty strong conviction, and they've come up overnight, and overnight they're holding in that 92 area. The news brought us down back into balance around 1788.75, which is the overall balance. Now, I break my profiles down to show me where the last value was before they launched, and where they tried to hold, and where they're currently trying to hold. If you do draw another profile, though, because we've rotated back down in here, if you draw a profile through to this whole balance area, it doesn't change the where the perception and where current value is. It's still around that 1788.75. So there's no need for me to draw a bigger microcomposite, because it's not giving me any new information. If we hold and get back above this 92.25, then I'd be looking for a move towards the 1800 again. Our value area high for this smaller microcomposite that we're trading in right now is up at 1798.25. Of course, we've got our range high from yesterday at 1799.50. I think that we come up here if we get above 92.25 and chop around for the morning with a push to up to 1800, and if we get above 1800, then I'd be looking for a move back up to this naked microcomposite VPOC at 1804.50, and then we also have a naked VPOC at 1804 as well. I believe it was from this day right here, which was the second. But we could very easily just chop around in this zone between 82 and 95.50 as well. But if we find some early weakness, I'd be looking for them to push through down again, possibly as low as the 1774.50. Otherwise, if we stay above 82.25, then I think we drift up higher, test the 92.25, and move up into this wick area here again, and trade between 94 and 1800 with a poke through to 1804. Let's take a look at the overnight. Let me just get this set up here. Overnight high is 1794.25. Overnight low is 1787. So we're making new lows. So we got to be wary of that with still 25 minutes to go. Overnight VPOC is that 92, right at the close from yesterday. And, again, just like we were talking about yesterday, this is an ugly-looking profile. There's no conviction right now to where's fair value. It's all over the map. We're trying to find fair value in this distribution zone around that 88, and no, there's no agreement right now. And the fact that we left that VPOC above yesterday before we broke down and went down to that 77, 75 and then came back up, we still left value above us. So that's one of the reasons why I think that we've got a higher probability of going and taking out that naked VPOC. Of course, we're going to be trading just near the value area low or just below value, so it's going to be interesting whether or not we hold value going into this open or we open outside of value going into this open. But value area low is this 87. If we hold value on the open, might get a little poke down to take out the overnight low. I'd be looking for buyers to step in here at this 84.50. The IB low in this LVN from yesterday. We poked below it, but didn't stay below it for very long. And this was some pretty strong buying. You can see that the OTF really stepped in strong when we came down into the 1778. That's convicted. That's buyers with conviction, and they moved us back up. So one of the areas that I'll be looking to trade will be off of this IB low in this LVN at 1784.50. If we get below that, then I'll be looking for that move down to 82, and I'll get short and watch how they handle that 82 level, and if they come down to test the range low and that CHVN around that 1778 and a quarter and the 1777.75 range low. So I will be trading off of this as well, in between 77.75 and 1778 and a quarter, to see if they pick up buyers again. If they don't, my main target below today is going to be the 1767.82. But I will take a look and look for possible buyers and a bounce off of this 1774.75. So that's going to be another area that I'll be looking to do business. And then below that, I think we get a move down to that 68 area. And again, just like we were looking for a move down to that 88.50 area when we were trading above and broke out of that 90, below that 92, same thing with the 67. If we break through that 74, I'm looking for a strong move down there. Of course, we've got the close from yesterday at 1792 and overnight balance. So I'll be looking for, my main hypothesis is to, take out the overnight low, come down into this 84.50, find buyers in around the 84.50, rotate back up through, and go up and take out the naked close and fill the gap, and then push through to the overnight high and take out the 97.75 and chop in up in this upper distribution from yesterday with a move to take out the overnight high and poke ourselves back into the 1800s, possibly go up to this 1804. We do have naked crosses at 1805.50 and 1806. And then we've got the other side of balance there at 1809. It's moved up slightly. And then above that, we have that naked VPOC here at 1810.50, and then, of course, the main target above, which is this 1812.50, which is the all-time high. So I will be trading also off of the breakout of this range high and this 1800, or whether or not they reject it again and rotate back down through. I'm going to be very careful in this area between, because I think we can get some very strong rotations. But because of the fact that 92 has been very strong and has been a number that I've been trading off of, I know it's at the open, I know it's at the overnight VPOC and balance, but I will be trading off of this 92. That will be the only area that I'll consider taking a trade inside this zone. There's really not double distribution here. This is multiple distribution. If there was more defined balance above and below, I'd find a level to trade off of it. But I think you really got to be careful in here today and not get chopped up, because I think it can be pretty volatile. Let's take a look at where we are in terms of the Keltner. Keltner center line, 91 and a quarter, so just below that 92. So I think if we come up and test the center line of the Keltner channel, that will likely take out that 92 and close the gap. A test to the lower side of the Keltner channel brings us down to that 85 area. Basically near the open from yesterday, and that LVN and the IB low that I'll be trading off of there. And then we could get a walk the line down to that 78 to test the lower if we did it. I mean, I was joking about this yesterday, but we were talking about these, Keltner walks. Oh, come on. We had, we had a non-Rako reversal, Keltner walk of the upper line. Then we came down. This was a beautiful move. We had a Rako reversal and then a close back below the Keltner channel, and then had a beautiful move down to our main target. Then we moved back up, and what do? We get another Keltner with a Rako reversal walk the line set up. So I was joking yesterday in the room that we're going to call this day the day of the Keltner walk. But if we stay above the center line, a move up to the upper Keltner line is going to bring us up to 97, which is basically, up at that naked VPOC. So pretty straightforward today, but again, be careful in between. It's going to get choppy, and you just want to be patient. Wait for those responsive sellers, responsive buyers to step in and break a level, and then know where you're wrong quickly. We just got another overnight lower, so we continue to see some weakness coming into this market. So watch this 84 level. If we break the 84 level, I think we will see 82, a test of that 82, and then move down to test the range low. And then if we break that range low, down to test those areas below. So that's what I'm looking at for ES. Howard, over to you.
Thank you, Doug. So let's take a quick peek at the daily chart. So yesterday, 2 days ago, we came down, tested the 20 and rejected. Yesterday, we were right in this area during our morning report, and we were looking at resistance at the 9 EMA and support at the 20 SMA. We took a strong test to break below the 20 SMA, but eventually rejected. We tested also above the 9 EMA, rejected, ended up right in the middle where we started. So over the Globex session, we tested pretty much to the tick the 9 EMA as resistance. Currently, we're testing below the 20 SMA. So these two moving averages have provided good support and resistance. We'll see if we continue to move lower and close below this 20 today, or whether we reject and test the 9 EMA above.
Muted.
Okay, so that will be the guidance from the daily chart here. So let's go ahead and look at the market internals and breadth. So we see we have the high set back on November 29th at 1812.50, and since then we've been making our way a bit lower. It's not really been a strong move. It's just been methodical. So looking at Dow transports versus industrials, we see no really major change between the two. In fact, hardly any change between the two. The industrials still have a wide gap above. The transports have a wide gap above the industrials. No divergence there. So let's look at our sectors. Excuse me. So we're seeing generally that the sectors are moving a bit lower. Utilities is one exception, and there's a few of these in here that are flat. So we have general agreement among the sectors, but we do have a little bit of divergence between some of them. Okay, so looking at our advanced declines in the middle chart and up volume versus down volume in the lower chart, these are on a 10-day average basis. The midpoint is this line here at the 50% level. And we can see that as of yesterday, we've made a lower low on advanced declines for both the NYSE in blue and the NASDAQ in red. So we peaked back here on October 22nd, formed a temporary bottom here, retraced a bit, and now we're moving to lower lows. On advanced declines, similar story for up-down volume. Peaked on the same day on October 22nd, had an interim low on November 7th, our interim high on November 21st, and since then the market breadth has been getting weaker. So we have that significant non-confirmation starting on October the 22nd. Price continued moving higher through that entire time up until the 29th. But this indication gave you early warning that there was a potential change coming, either a consolidation or a possible change of direction. Whether we get a change of direction, that still remains to be seen, but we can see that all the leadership taking price higher has been getting thinned out over all this time since October 22nd. So, Doug, I think that's all I've got. I'll turn it back over to you. About 9 minutes to open.
Sorry, I was talking, Howard. I didn't realize you had muted me.
You there, Doug?
I'm there. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3, can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3, can you hear me?
If you're talking, Doug, we don't hear you yet. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Do you hear me now?
Testing 1, 2, 3, testing. Testing 1, 2, 3, do you hear me now? Can you hear me now, Howard?
Now I can.
Okay, I don't know what was going on. I didn't realize you had muted me, and then when I tried to unmute myself, it wouldn't let me back on. Okay, so I just want to check to see. Okay, we have a new low at 86 and a quarter. So really, nothing really changes. We're back up above the value area. I'm looking to take out the overnight low and come down here between 84.50, possibly come down to that 82 CLVN again, and then find some buyers, and then rotate us back up, take out the gap close, and go up and chop around in between that 94 and 1800 with a pop through. That's my main hypothesis. If we second hypothesis, if we get below 82, we come down to the 78 and a quarter, and we don't hold it, then I'd be looking for a move down to the other side of balance at 74, 75 CLVN, and a push through if we break that down to the 68 level. Pretty straightforward day. Just don't get chopped up in the middle. It's going to be, I think you're going to see some, 4 or 5 point rotations that will be, with some velocity. So just be careful. Anyway, that's going to complete. I'm not going to bother doing gold. Well, we'll take a quick look at gold. Gold is, currently trading down here just below the value area low of the microcomposite at 1225. We're trading 1223. We're breaking outside of value again. If we can't get back inside of value, I'm looking for a move down to test that that 1210.80 range low, and my big target below is still looking for this move down to 1203.50 to find buyers with conviction to hold us into the 1200s and a rotation up. If we get back inside of value, again, same thing as yesterday, I'll be looking at the 32 area and that 41 and the 46 area. I mean, same thing over and over again right now in gold as we're chopping around in this distribution zone. Anyway, that's going to complete the morning session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.